Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you today. I hope you're doing well. I think I'm turned around again. This is so weird. Let me see if I can fix it since I'm on just a tiny bit early. So let's see. Let's see what's happening. That's so strange. No, this one got. I just can't believe I did this again. I hope y'all are doing good this evening because I'm all messed up. Let's see here. Where did I find it last time? There we go. There we go. Oh my goodness, I don't know why that's happening. All right, we are all better now. So how is everybody this weekend? Happy Sunday. I hope y'all are doing well. I'm so glad to be here. I'm excited to create with you today. I've been kind of playing around with some stuff today, and so I don't have a finished product. Well, I have some, but the ones I want to play with are not finished. So we're going to play with them together. So we are going to start out with just a few announcements. So we are in the subscription period for at least 7 more days for the May Paper Pumpkins. So that is going to be the lanterns and the kind of fireworks. And so you don't want to miss out because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm also going to bring in some other products with it that I think will line up nicely. So I'm excited about that. And we are going to be doing a couple of fun folds today. So, oh, you're chilly and rainy, are you, Wanda? Stay warm. And I hope that maybe you'll craft along with me today. So let's see what we got. We're going to start out with a card that is sort of like a gatefold card. So we're going to start out with just a basic white cardstock. And I'm going to get my trimmer here. And this is just 5.5 by 8.5, but we're going to do some scoring at 2 1/8. Get my cutting blade out of the way. Oh my goodness, you can't see anything. Let me switch this around. There we go. All right, so we are gonna do let me just start over. This is 5.5 by 8.5. And it's just the basic white cardstock. We're going to do some scoring at 2 1/8 here, and then 6 3/8. So I'm going to get this out. Now, I do not like to use this part of my trimmer because the 3/8 is like right in this fold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this around, and hi, Jaylene. We are going to just flip it around and do 2 1/8 on the other side. Okay. But it is if you have a different scoring tool, it is 2 1/8 and then 6 3/8. Okay, that is the plan. All right, then let's talk about the other pieces I have here. So I know I showed you last week some of the DSP from the catalog that is going to go live in 2 days. So you have 2 days before you can, if you're not a demonstrator, before you can get this paper, but we are going to use this. This is 2 inches by 5 3/8. Okay. Then I'm using a piece of the card base, and this piece is 3 inches by 5 inches. Okay. Then I did cut a piece of Misty Moonlight, and this is 3 inches by 3 inches. I'm just making sure. Yeah, 3 inches by 3 inches. Okay. Then I use this piece of DSP. Has little bicycles on the back, and you can see got seagulls on the front. This piece is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay. Then I have the label, the sentiment label die cut that came in the kit. I have a couple of pieces of things that I cut out from the DSP in the kit. Okay. Hey, Carla. So we might fussy cut these. I just am not sure what I want yet. We have the bicycle die cut from the kit. Okay. I also have this life preserver from the DSP that we might fussy cut. And then I have this adorable little bird. So I pulled out the stamps from the coordinating set. Okay. And this is so cute. This little bird right here. I just love it. And so what I did was I just kind of stamped on the bird. Part of it is Midnight Navy, Night of Navy. And the other part is the Peaceful Pine, just to give it some color. And so that's what we end up with. Is that so cute? Oh, thanks, Carla. And then we're going to use some of the dies. I used a die from the add-on that you could get on the 5th, and I cut them out. And we're going to use some of these other ones on the next project. So we're going to use this little book right here and the little coffee cup. Is that so cute? We're also going to use... on the next one, I'll show you, we're going to use some of the dies as well to make a chair. So we're going to get started with this gatefold. And so we're going to fold this side in, and I'm just making sure I have things lined up. Okay, and then I'm going to fold this side in. And again, just making sure I have everything lined up here. And I thought that tore a little bit, but it didn't. So we have our gatefold just like that. All right. And so before we get started, I want to do a little bit of stamping on some of our items. So let me grab the foam mat. It's just a little bit hidden over here. Okay. Goodness, I think I have a mess everywhere. All right, so we are going to grab our little scrap paper here, and I'm going to do a little bit of the brush, the little kind of weeds or whatever that grow by the seaside or the ocean or wherever you may be on the water. And so we're just going to take some of this, and we're going to start off the page a little bit like that. And then we're going to put some on here, and I'm going to do it just a little bit taller like that. And then I'm going to do a little bit more And this time I'm going to stamp off, okay? And I'm going to kind of do it right on top of that one, but a little bit off to the side. That way it looks like it's a little behind there. Okay, and we're going to do that one more time, just stamping off. And then we're going to come up right like that. So now it looks like it's a little bit fuller there, and you can get the dimension of the things behind. Okay, so we're going to do one more, and this one we're going to do full strength, but I'm going to bring it down just a little. Okay, and then one more, and that's it. But we're going to stamp off, and we're going to just have it up just a tad, so it looks almost like there's some behind it. So just like that, and that's going to be on that piece right there, just to give it some added interest. Now on this piece, we are going to add some of these as well along this edge, and we're going to add it right there. And then one more. We're going to do one more. On this one, I'm going to stamp off, and I'm just going to do it a little bit higher. And that way it's just a little bit behind there. Okay. And so we have that. And then we are also going to add some of these seagulls. Now I am going to add these with Night of Navy, but I am going to stamp off first before I put them on, and then I'm going to put them on because I want it to be closer to the Misty Moonlight. Now I could have gotten my Misty Moonlight ink out, but I think that does it just fine. So you have it there up in the corner. So we have that, and then we need our sentiment. So we are going to use this one here, that's Older, Wiser, Better. And I am going to use the Night of Navy on here just to bring a little bit more of the blues into our item here. So I am going to put this off to the left side like so. And I think that's going to work out the best. Okay, so I think for this one, I think that's everything, but let's go ahead and put a happy birthday on the inside. And I'm just wondering, like, I have this strip of blue here. I'm thinking I might trim this. Let's see if I could trim that off. I'm gonna trim this off, get the bird off of there, and then we're gonna use this just to give a little bit of added interest to the inside of the card. I would keep the bird, but the bird's wings are cut off, and I just think that will look weird. So let's add a happy birthday, okay, to the inside of here, and I'm just gonna try and get it as straight as I can. Looks pretty good. And we're gonna add that to the inside of here just like that. So let's go ahead and start to put our card together. All right, so let's add this, and oh my goodness, I guess I took my glue. I did leave the house with my tools this week, so we're going to use my silly little snowflake holder right here, and I will open up this glue and get us going. I think it's still in the other room, so I'm just not going to jump up and go get it. It'll make it a lot easier if I just get it later. So, all right, so that goes there. like so. Now, I am also thinking how it would be fun to just add some of the birds on the inside of here alongside this. So we're going to add them right there. And then we're going to use some of the green, and we'll add a little bit of these little plants down here at the bottom, and we'll just put a few on here next to each other, and then we'll do one on the other side, and that will give this just a little bit more fun on the inside of our card. All right, so I think that takes care of our inside and our stamping. So that's what we end up with on the inside. So this closes like this. Now we are going to add this strip right here on this side. Okay. And so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. Again, this is 2 inches by 5 3/8. Okay. And you just get like a 1/8, like actually more like a 1/16 of an inch border around here. And that makes for just a very, very fine finish. Okay. Now this one is going to go really into the center of here. Okay. And so you have this plain white out here. Now we could have added some DSP here, but I am going to, I think, bring this over just a tad to cover up a little bit more of that. Okay. And we'll just make like a little bit of an even frame around here. And this is going to get put on with some dimensionals. Okay. And so once we get our other piece done, we will add it. But for now, this is a reason why I'm moving it over. So this is going to be more centered, which see, now we have the brush on both sides here. And so let's work on this layering piece first before we start to put that side on. And so let's put this down on here, and you end up with about 1/8 of an inch around the edge. Nice little border. Okay. And we have our bicycle, and this is where I thought the bird would be so fun to have him sitting on the handlebars maybe, or even on the little basket or somewhere here. But we're going to have also this coming across. So I may want to move this up just a tad, like so, and then have that coming down on it like that. And then maybe our little bird will be right there. Now, like I said, I brought out these other pieces, just trying to decide if we wanted any additional layering pieces here. And so I do kind of like this little Bowie here. So let's go ahead and just do a little quick fussy cutting and see how we might add that here to the layering pieces of this card. I do like the life I don't know what to call that. The little round thing. I don't know what they're called. Carla, I bet you know. It's water person. This little thing, saucer? I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not a lake person, so I don't know the answer to this, but I bet you know. All right, so I do think this would be great to just add into the background of here, just to give it a little bit more of something going on. I also have this little life jacket, which I could add into the background somehow if I wanted. And maybe we put our little bird over here. I don't know. That feels like a lot. That feels like too much. All right, so I think we're gonna stick with this here and maybe put our bird up there. All right, so I think that's how our layering elements are going to go. And I'm going to go ahead and start to put some of this down. I am going to add this with some dimensionals. So I have some mini dimensionals here, and I'm just going to try and make sure I get my dimensionals on the right space. So let's just see. Preserver, life preserver. Well, that's a good guess. I don't know. I think of them as being really hard foam. And I just was thinking they might be called something else, but life preserver is very good. All right, so I'm adding that with some dimensionals because we're going to have our bike here, and I'm going to put part of it down with glue, but some of it with dimensionals as well. So I'm going to just start to cut into my edge of my dimensionals here because I'm running out of the individual ones. And we're going to glue that side down. And the bottom of here is going to go up on this piece here. So I'm kind of like putting him just like that. Okay. That just gives a little bit more shadow on the side. If you can see that, kind of hard with all the light, but I think that works out really well. Then we're going to stick our little buoy behind here. Okay. And that is just going to get tucked in like so. And it's all right. He's going to hang off the top like that. And then we're going to add our little bird. I don't know. I think I'm going to put him on the handlebars. So I am just going to use one of our dimensionals on here. And then we're going to add our little bird right up there. So that's what we end up with, our little scene. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and glue this. Or no, we're using dimensionals. Remember, June. All right. So we're going to cut some dimensionals here just to get us going. And let's just see, because I don't want it to go past this point. So if I keep my dimensionals at this part of the page, I'm just gonna make sure we have that. And then I just need to cut a couple more. All right. Everybody having a good weekend? We actually had some really beautiful weather this weekend. We've had a lot of rain. As I'm sure people have heard, the Texas getting all the rain. And but yesterday it was like sunny and the sky was blue, and it was a really beautiful day. So I actually went out and met a friend that was visiting, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So as you can see, no dimensionals are sticking out on this edge. That gives us just a little bit of a layer there, and nothing in the middle where we're going to add this piece. Okay. And we will be adding that with some dimensionals. Okay. And I'm going to bring it down just a tad. so it won't be in the center. It'll be more towards the bottom, okay? But we are going to put the dimensionals on this side now. All right, so I'm just gonna do some more trimming off my edge. All right, so we're gonna put that there and there and there. And I'll put one right in the middle. That should do it. Give it good support, and we'll have it like that. Now, I probably could have gone farther over with the dimensionals, but I think this will be good enough. All right, so just bringing this down just a little and making sure it's straight. Okay, so there we have it like that. And so we have older, wiser, better, happy birthday, just like that. Okay, now some things that we can do is we can add some of the little stones to the area down here. So just adding in a few of these little stone pebbles. If you turn them around different ways, I think it just adds to the volume of how you can really make the most of them. And I think I'm gonna just get one more of the skinnier ones, and let's just turn this around like that. All right, so we just added a few of the little stones down here. The other thing I thought would be fun is to use a little bit of Winkostella. I don't have any. Do I have some? I don't think this is the right one. It's a different color. Oh, here we go. Let's see what we can get. So I'm just gonna kind of let some of this drop down into the cap. Okay, and then I'm gonna just fling it onto our card. Get a little bit of shimmer on here. And we got lots of shimmer. There we go. If you can see it, we got a lot going on the wheels, everywhere. It is so fun. I love it. Very, very cute. So I hope you, oh, we even got some over here. Very fun. I really like this layout. I think it's a pretty fun, easy, fun fold to do. And I'm thinking I would like to move this just a tad. It is not quite straight. There we go. There we go. All right, so that was our first card. So let's move on to the second one. We may only get 2 done today because this next one's a little bit more work, but it's a fun one. And I'm bringing in lots of different things. So I'm bringing in the DSP from the new catalog, okay? We're going to have that. We have this DSP piece. So these are the same piece. This sheet has like all these seagulls coming across the center kind of diagonally. And so I was able to pull this out of this without any birds, because we're going to use it for a place where you can write your note. And so we have, let me get these out of the way. So we have our little sentiment piece from the kit. We these right here I did fussy cut from the DSP because I feel like I'm about to lose or run out of all of these little oars that were in the kit. Okay, so I have that. And then I mentioned to you that I used some of the other dies from the kit, and I pulled out the dies here, and I'm using this chair, and this is a really cool piece. So you have this piece here, and you have this piece here, and then you have these two little arm pieces, okay? And we're gonna put our chair together. And I use the two-tone Cajun Craze with this. I got a piece stuck in here, but that's all right. But I'm really having fun with this set. I think it's a lot of fun. And then I mentioned to you earlier that I pulled out the book. There's a book and this little coffee cup. And so I already have those die cut and ready to go, but they have their own dies that are in that suite that is going to be available on the 5th. So I pulled those out. So we have our book, and where's the coffee cup? It's in this pile, I think. Yep, here it is. So these are so cute. I just love them. Oh my goodness, it's so fun. All right, so we have this little guy, and this is really cool. So this piece right here, it just sticks right down inside that space right there. And then it looks, now it's a little bit two-tone. Now I do know that's very difficult to see the two-tone, but it really is two-tone. And then the little arm deals here, they go right on here, and it gives it a little bit more dimension. And so I'm thinking that I might use some dimensionals on those when we put it together. I also took from the dies for the quarter, okay, these dies. I did cut some of the sign out. Now I don't think we're going to use it on this one, but I did cut some of them. They're really fun, these signs. And then I did cut also from Basic Beige, but you get this negative piece, right? And so I was like, oh, that's going to work perfectly in here for stamping like a message and stuff. But I don't know that I'm going to use that on this particular card. But what I am using is this word wonderful, okay? And so I have seen this done quite a few times, but I haven't really done it before. But they take and layer up several of the same die cut to give it more dimensions. So we are going to just glue some of these together, and I'm sure there is a more efficient way to do this, but I don't have my silicone mat handy. I wish I knew where it was, but at the moment I am not with it. So I'm going to just very delicately add some glue onto this word, and then we're going to put one on top of the other. Okay, and let me see if I can do it on something that you can see better with. I have an extra piece of the Misty Moonlight here. So I'm going to just lay this on top of here like so, getting it all lined up before I press it down. Okay, so that is the first layer, and we're going to do 3 of them. I think it's the Paper Pumpkin ladies that film. If you've never seen, or if you don't follow the Paper Pumpkin page, they have a monthly video that they do where some of the design team that they have, I can't think of what they're called, but there's like a group every year of people that do actually create things for Stampin' Up! To use in their advertising and things like that. and they are amazing people. I'm just saying, they are amazing. Okay, so that is 3 of them layered together, and I think you can see there just a little bit how that is thicker as a result, and it gives you a little bit more pop off the page when we use it. So we're going to use that. Okay. Now, I'm going to set that aside. We are going to also be utilizing from the kit this die cut as well as this die cut. Okay. And then this is from the card base, and it is 2 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And I have another piece, same size, 2 inches by 5 3/8 from the DSP. Okay. And then, like I said, this is going to be so you can write on it and get a message out there. Look at all these pieces. I already pre-cut a couple of the little buoys from the DSP pack as well. I also cut this cute little fishing vest, and this little piece is part of this die cut, and it goes right on there. And this little chair is the cutest thing. It's so much dimension in it that it's just awesome. Okay, so now we're going to do a bit of scoring, and we have a piece 5.5 by 8.5, and then I have a piece that's 8.5 by 1.5 inches. Okay, so we're going to score this piece first. All right, and we are going to be scoring at, it's funny because we're basically doing kind of a similar score deal. So we're going to start out with 2 1/8 inches right here. I said similar, not the same. Okay, so 2 1/8, and then we're going to go to 4 1/4, which is kind of usually the standard fold for an 8.5 by 5.5 piece. So we're going to have this piece and this piece, and it will fold like that. Okay. Then this piece, we're going to do the same scoring. 2 1/8 and 4 and, or I believe it's the same. So we're going to do 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Okay. But we're going to end up turning it around. Okay. And so it's going to fold like this, and this piece is like this. All right. And they're going to go together just like this at the bottom. So when they are glued together, it is this type of a fold. And so it would stand up like that. So it's a little bit of a display card once we put it all together. Okay, so those are the pieces we need. This piece is going to go right in here first. I want to get that down. Okay, so this is just 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so we're going to get that put down first. And again, this came from the DSP pack that it's going to be available on the 5th. All right. And I want to do the assembly of the base because I want to get it down before I forget what needs to go down first, because otherwise we will not have things going in the right order and we'll make it hard on ourselves. So I realize I did not burnish my score line, so let me do that right now. All right. So we're going to put these birds on the inside. So see how it'll flow nicely over to this other page. And so this is going to go here, just like so. Okay. And then we are going to have a piece on the front. Now these are a much tighter fit, whereas this one has more space around the edge, and that's fine. That's how I wanted it, but I'm just letting you know that you're not seeing it wrong, and I didn't give you the wrong dimensions. So just making that clear. All right, so this was a part of the card base in the kit. And so I have these pieces, and so now this is how it will fold open. All right, just like that. All right, so now we are going to put this together. Now this is going to go all the way flush to the bottom. All right, I'm not putting this up at any level. I'm making it flush to the bottom. All right, so the first one I'm going to put down is this side, and I'm just going to put some glue right onto this piece, and we're going to put that down first. All right, and again, I'm putting it flush at the bottom of the card base. Okay, so I'm just getting it lined up, and then I typically like to pick this up and just make sure that it is at the place I want it to be. All right, so I'm just gonna mash that down a little bit and get it in its place. Now we're gonna put some glue over here. Okay, and now this piece I'm just gonna fold right down on top of here like that, and that is our card base. So I'm just going to do this a little bit, and we are good. Okay, so that's how the card stands. All right, and it's a nice little display card. All right, so that is so fun, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to create this layering piece that's going to go right on top of here like so. And I'm just going to make sure I haven't forgotten anything, because I have like some of my little instructions over here. I made a boo-boo. See, when I don't follow all the rules. All right, so we're just going to lay this one right on top of here, because this is supposed to go all the way down. I should have put this piece on before I put this on. This is why you get in trouble if we don't pay attention to the plan. All right, so I probably don't have to put this whole piece on here, but I just think it'll be easier and it will look cleaner to put it that way. All right, so I'm just making sure it's lining up and on top of the other one just perfectly, so that it looks like that's how it was meant to be. There we go. This is how it goes. Sorry, I hope I didn't make you mess up. Hopefully you're watching and then you learn from my mistakes. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to work on this layering piece, but we have some pieces to work with and put together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this right down to this piece. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to use this in the background, but I really do think it makes it so much better. All right, because it's just a little bit of a background on there. But let's go ahead and put our chair together. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to use just a teeny tiny amount of dimensional on here. So I'm going to just cut a very thin strip of dimensions right there. And I'm going to cut that off, and we're going to just add it. Oh, did I catch it? No, I didn't. Well, we're going to start over. All right, let me just do it on this side. It'll be a lot easier. if I just cut a nice long strip, skinny strip. All right, so we're gonna have this little one here, and that is gonna go right on here. So it's already too big. Okay, so we're gonna have this one right there. And I think I can just use this other little piece right here. So I just have two little dimensionals there. All right. And this little guy is going to go right on. Oops. Got him upside down. This one's going over here like so. And then this one's going over here like so. And then you can see how the arms are now just a little bit more popping up. Let's see if that's better. There you go. You can see how the arms are popping up there. All right, so now we're going to add this one behind here like that. All right, so I'm going to put just a tad of glue back here. And then this is going to go through there. And I'm just making sure that I've got it down all the way. Okay. And then I'm going to lift this top up just a tad and put just a tad of glue on this strip at the top and put that together. So that's that part of the chair. Is really hard to see on that, but that adds to the dimension. It also has like wood grain in it, kind of die cut into it. And then this is a little wood grain piece also. They would make awesome sympathy cards. You're right, Wanda. There isn't a sympathy sentiment in here, but if you have one, like, you're right, it would be awesome. Very peaceful these are. All right, so this little piece just gets put in this little space right here, and it just makes more dimension on the card. And then also you can see that wood grain there, and so that little piece is there, and that is the chair. Now I am going to put this on with some dimensionals, and we'll be careful with that, but this little guy is just going to go. I'm trying to decide exactly where we want to put him, because I kind of I don't know if I want it to cover up all of that, or it may just need to go right in the middle of there like that. That may be where it goes. I was trying to see if I could get it off to the side a little bit like that, with the cabin behind there. We're going to have to see. All right. So I saw somebody else do this, but they put their little book like on the armchair. I just think that's so cute. Kind of hanging there. I don't think you can see that very well, but there you go. Just kind of hanging on the edge of the seat. Or we can put our little coffee cup there onto that place. But we are still figuring it out. So we're going to see what we can come up with for all these fun things. All right, so I think we're going to have our oars coming out the side like here, and we have our little buoys. We may have that one there, and our little vest underneath that. trying to get myself situated. That guy. Oh, I think that would look good. And then if we have our little chair, now I am curious, like, how does this guy fit? No, we don't want that. All right, so okay, we're gonna add the chair, but we're gonna kind of do it a little bit off to the side. All right, so I'm gonna put some dimensionals on the back of here. So I'm gonna cut another little piece of that strip off, this little skinny edge. So it's just gonna go right there. And then I'm gonna put one on this arm over here, because it will be on the, oh goodness, pulled that whole thing off. Oh my gosh, make that stop. All right, so we got this one little skinny piece, and it's got to go on this arm here. Perfect. And then I think I can do one more little skinny strip up here at the top. If I can get it skinny, I think it'll be fine. All right. All right, so we're going to put this at this side, just so we're not hanging off any dimensionals. Okay, so that's going to work out great. All right, let me take this off of here. And we are going to add, we're going to add it. Get everything going straight. All right, so right there. There we go. What's hanging over? Oh, we have a little bit of dimensional here. Let me see if I can get that cut off. There we go. So it's not sticky. All right, so that's where we're starting. All right, so I wonder if we could just stick this little guy right in there. And we're going to have our oars coming up like that, maybe with our vest. And then that little guy. I do like the book. I think we're going to glue the book on right there. Put it right onto that arm. There's way more glue than we needed, but we're going to add it right there. All right, then let's go ahead and glue our little oars down. When you have all these fun little elements, it's like, oh my gosh, how can I use them all? Right? They're so fun. So we're gonna kind of crisscross this guy up a little. And then we have our little jacket. So I think I am gonna put that on with some glue. So we're just gonna add our little jacket there. And then we'll add this with some dimensionals. So let's just grab a little bit of this. I'm using this, every little bit of this dimensional piece we have. All right, so this is just gonna come and go right like that. All right, so that's what we have so far on our fun little thing. So all we have to do is make sure that we are not falling off the edge on anywhere. All right, so let's just get that out of the way. And, you know, we might add our little coffee cup down here. That's what I might do. No, we're going to keep that. I do have this little sign here, and I'm not sure. I might just add that on the inside of here. Let's see. So we're going to need to put something on here. So I feel like I want to use the one that says you're an inspiration, because I feel like that's the right thing. Oh, but we also have you're a lifesaver. I think I'll use that one. All right, we're going to use the peaceful pine for this here, and I should get my foam mat, but we're going for it because I know we're getting close to the hour. This was fun stuff. All right, so we have you're a lifesaver. So I'm trying to figure out where we're going to add that. Maybe right in here or down here. I hate to cover up things. Although I have the wonderful, that's what I wanted to put on here. This wonderful. That's what's going to go right here. Wonderful. We may not need the you're a lifesaver. Unless we could put it on the inside. What do you think? Could we put that on the inside? Does that go with wonderful? What do you think? So we're going to add our wonderful right across there. Like that. Okay. So I think, I don't know if there's a way to put you are. I guess if I trimmed that off, you could have you are wonderful. Let's just see how that would work. We are in the forest now, man. We are in the forest. Okay. I do think that we are going to do that. We are going to put that right there once we get this set down. Okay. So this is going to go on here like so. I have one more thing that I wanted to do. I have my linen thread handy. Okay. We're going to get a little bit of linen thread. And I have this adorable little piece that is going to be in the new catalog. And I want to add it to this. So we're going to put our little linen thread through the hole here. And we're going to add this. And we are going to, I think we'll add it to the top of the chair. So I'm going to put the little string through here like so. And we're going to add this just like that. Tie it down with a bow. Try not to have a giant bow. It's kind of hard. There we go. That's going to be perfect. All right. There we go. Ta-da. All right. So that's what we are ending up with. I just think this came out so adorable. All right. So we need to put some dimensionals on here from here to here. And I'm going to use this piece to just trim off what we have left and use this up. All right, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 kind of in the center there. Okay, so we're going to get the dimensional covers off here. Like that. Okay, so now I want to just make sure that I am somewhat all in the game. So there we go. So I have my oar that's on here. I got the chair that's fitting here. And that is what we end up with, like so. Wonderful. Now we're going to add the UR. All right, so I think I have still just a tad of dimensional here. I'm going to use to add that. We're going to stick it right there. Okay, so you are wonderful. Oh my gosh, I love this. And then you can lay this down and write a message. Can't even figure out where I could add my little teacup here if I wanted, but I'm not going to. We also had the little fish we could have added on here. Like, you know, you have so many pieces that you can bring together in this kit. It's just so fun. I'm not kidding. I have had a lot of fun. Now, I do have 3 other cards put together. But the next couple of weeks, I have some things going on. So what my plan is to record for next Sunday. And, or wait, no, I can be here next Sunday. I will record for the following Sunday. Okay, I've got to get myself out of my confusion there. So this is so fun, y'all. I am in love with it. I am in love with it. Super duper. All right, so we made those 2. Oh, we should add a pebble, I'm sure. No, we are good. We are good. We're not gonna do any more damage. Very, very fun. I hope you guys had a good time and like what you see. If you do, please like my YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook and share it with any friends that you know that might be interested. I know that Paper Pumpkin is now global, so if you know people across the pond that just want to get some inspiration, please invite them over. So thank you so much for today. I had such a good time putting these together. Oh, Wanda, you're so great. You're my biggest fan. I just thank you so much. You've just been with me a long time, and I'm very, very thankful for all of my people that follow me. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next Sunday with at least 2, maybe 3 alternate ideas. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Jaylene.